lot going on back there. Hey, family. Happy Saturday afternoon. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all who are here from last night's live. We got out of there so late. I can't believe that half of you are back. But how are we doing? I actually was going to skip this week's episode of Married at First Sight because I said I just really wanted to wait until they're out of their honeymoon stage and their homes and the experts or whatever are there. But this episode was really good, so I decided to talk about it with you guys today, and then we'll be caught up for it next week. Before I get into it, just want to say hi to everybody. What's up, Black Lavender? Back at it again. How are you? Ready for the mess? What's up, Kimberly? Hey, Ajuvi, how are you? He told all her business. She got student loan debt. She still hasn't graduated yet and lied about it. He spilled all the tea. He sure did. Bombshell blurb, back at it again. Hey, Nikki C. Hey, Alicia, from one beauty to another. What's up, sup, people? Dr. Rim said, I hope I haven't missed anything. Hey, Star Fam. Nope. Just literally got started. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany said, just finished your like the Lockup Live video. My goodness, that chat scorched your pics, Nikki. Hope you healed. You know what? I am never using that site that I used to get the bachelors because y'all hated those bachelors. They dragged me. They dragged me, y'all. Everybody was like, we need a do-over. And I don't know. I think it's probably you, Black Lavender, but somebody in the chat was like, please just bring back the killers. We don't care anymore. The non-violent offenders aren't cute. Y'all were hating. Hating. Yes, Goose Girly, good morning. That's right. It was. My cheeks are still like recovering from all of the laughing. That dare section where we would start talking about how dare traumatized us as a kid. Classic Star family. What's up, Angela? Hey, JL. Hey, Keisha. How are we? It was a good episode. It really, really was. Hey, midwife Crystal, I was literally just thinking about you this morning because I'm going to reach out to, remember, we talked about something a while ago. I'm going to reach out to you about that soon, but I had to get my other channel up and running. And now that it's getting some legs, I could start doing some different things on there. Hey, Johnny's acting channel said, hey, Nikki, thanks for always entertaining us. Great news. I finally can tell you I'm a manager at Freddie Frozen's Custom and Steak Burgers in San Diego. I know that's right, Johnny. Congrats. Come on, manager. We got management in the building. Now, why would you write this like we're not going to show up? Like the Star family is not going to show up and be like, hey, my cousin Johnny is here. Can I get the friends and family discount? Congrats, bro. Congrats. Hey, Sydney, how are you? We've been having a really good time in the last two lives. I don't know what the Star family is on, but those lives have been hilarious. Midwife Crystal said the killers have you like first or second. I'm telling you, there was one guy that I was going to show y'all, and I was just like, I can't because I literally kept on looking through his rap sheet just to see if it was that bad. That's how fine he was. Oh my goodness, it was. We had some fun. Okay, I'm gonna hit you up soon. Thank you so much. Yeah, what was his name? Bankroll. Y'all tore Bankroll to shreds, and that wasn't right. Bankroll the poet. Absolutely. We want our discount. Hey, Dahlia, how are you? Midwife said, congrats, Johnny. Let us know if you see the Mariachis site folks in the street. Tell them that we watch them. Hey, Nakia, how are you? Josie said, hi, everyone. Yeah, last night's bachelors weren't giving. Those thieves couldn't stop. Please, y'all, my cheeks are still recovering. We have got to do better today. We have got to do better. The bombshell blur said, right, are they killers or killers like Sarah? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think it was Missy. But somebody last night said that he's not a poet. He's just writing word salads. Oh my goodness, y'all are a mess. Let's get into the review. So next week, we're going to get the experts. I hope. I'm like, y'all have held what is his name? Devon Franklin hostage. Y'all know what we're here for. Give us Devon Franklin. Good. You know what I mean? We want to see him. And y'all know why. Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing. All right, let's bring up our first couple. Our first couple that we're going to talk about today is Alexis and Justin. Where are their pics? I felt like I had them. Did I delete them? There's no way I deleted Alexis and Justin. There's no way. How do I have everybody else but Alexis and Justin? Hold on. I thought I had that couple. Did I? I think I deleted them. Damn it. Hold on. Give your girl a second. Give your girl a second because I absolutely had Alexis and Justin up here. If not, I'm just going to have to fake it. Oh, guys, I haven't seen my bunny. I have not seen my bunny for a minute, and I don't know what's going on. Let me find. I had Alexis and Justin up here, and I'm so upset. I probably deleted it. I got to find it again. But yeah, I haven't seen my bunny in a minute. I don't know what's happening there. But to God be the glory. To God be the glory. I'm going to use this picture for now, but I actually do have a picture of Alexa and Justin. I don't know why I can't find it here in StreamYard, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's get into terrible pick. Terrible pick. It is what it is what we have to go with for today. But let's get into Alexis and Justin. I feel like that Justin is going to lose Alexis for two very main things. One, he's far too sensitive for her. And she's mentioned it, right? She's also said, hey, I like the fact that the experts put me together with somebody who's very sensitive, because that's the opposite of what I normally go for. Because even when I matched up with him, I was just like, he looks a little too soft for me. There is nothing wrong with a sensitive man. I absolutely love that. I encourage it. I feel like his feelings get in the way of his relationship with Alexis. Justin is far too sensitive and far too involved for the wife that he has. Because when he was crying over Ben's marriage with Morgan, I was just like, it's never that deep. It's never that deep. He's sitting over there crying, I don't want my best friend to be taken advantage of. You just met him. How are you crying over him and not your wife? He's just far too involved and invested in this marriage. Ben ain't crying over Morgan, so why are you? He needs to focus on his marriage right here, because I think he feels a bit more secure about Alexis than I think that he really is. I think he feels secure about their marriage. I don't think he should feel that way yet. I think he still has a lot to do. Yes, I love the fact that she mentioned this episode that it slipped out, starting to fall for him. But I still think that there's work that he has to do. There's work that they both have to do, but I think he feels far too confident about where his marriage is. And I'm just like, this is just a honeymoon. Y'all have not weathered any kind of storms. You need to stay focused here on your relationship before, not even before. You don't need to be getting in anybody else's marriage. You only know what Ben tells you. You don't know the truth. You don't know if that's the truth. You're just going off of your friend, but you don't really know what's going on. And you're only getting his perspective, which we found out later was the wrong perspective. So you're going off of something that was not really accurate, and you're forming an opinion about somebody and about somebody's relationship that is taking you on an emotional roller coaster. And you can't even see that your wife ain't into it. She done already told you a billion times to mind your business, stay out of it, let Ben and Morgan handle it. And here you are crying and falling apart in her arms over somebody else's marriage. It's weird, bro. It's very, very weird. And you have to get in tune to your wife, because I'm seeing her and I know she getting sick of this. The fact that you can't see it yet, child. I love the fact that they're waiting though, because I feel like, not for Alexis, but I feel like for Justin, sex will confuse their relationship. I think that Justin, I'm glad that he's waiting, but I hope that he doesn't, consummate the marriage too soon for his own sanity, because I think it'll make him think, just like Lindy, that the relationship is farther than where it actually is. Because I feel like Alexis is a lot like Miguel, where sex is, sex, and it can mean more or it could mean less. I think Justin and Lindy are pretty accurate in how they feel about sexual intercourse. And I think for them, it's a much bigger deal than it is for their partners. So I'm glad that they're waiting. I'm glad that they're waiting, because I think he would be wackadoodle if they had sex at this point. Also, it's not really that important, but why was he in a turtleneck? Why was he in a turtleneck this episode? I'm like, you're on an island. Everybody is in like beach gear and you're in a turtleneck. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Listen, I love me some Justin. You know what I mean? I love him. I told you. He acts like he looks. Like Justin looks like he got a lot of wisdom. I'm telling you, he looks like he has a lot of wisdom. And he does. He really does. And he does give it off to, the other couples on the show. I just feel like he's just getting a bit too involved. Side note, Justin, you need to get into character acting. If you're not an actor, I feel like that's something that you absolutely should invest in, because you look alone, you'll get work. You'll get work. You give mythical. You really, really do. I can see you in like either Louisiana horror films or Louisiana like mythical films. I can see you in something like Eve's Bayou, the horror. You know what I mean? You have a look. I'm telling you, bro, this is not any jokes or anything like that. You have a look that Hollywood would eat up. If I was you, I would invest in that now. Alexis, get on it. Bring some money into that home, more money. Let's get into Tia and Tamera, also known as Nate and Stacia. How the hell are they taking baths together but not having sex? I'm with Miguel. I think somebody's lying. You mean to tell me you are two consenting adults? You get in a whole bath together, butt ball naked, bubbles, lavender oils and stuff, and y'all get out and nothing happens? You should have left that out. I don't think you should have told the ladies that, because when you said that, everybody was like, y'all taking it slow. How are y'all taking it slow and y'all having baths together? I think for Sasha, I think that she does want to take that next step. But just like with Justin and Lindy, sex means a lot more to her than it does to her partner. And I'm not saying that it couldn't mean a lot to Nate. I'm just saying that I feel like it could go either way with him. And I think it's just one straight way with Stacia. So I think she's absolutely there. She absolutely wants to do it, but she absolutely wants to be sure about Justin and about Nate. But in saying that, Stacia, you're saying that you want to take it slow, that you don't want to, have sex with him or whatever, but you also asked him to move into your home that's being built. So you want to live with him in your forever home, but you don't want to sleep with him because you're not sure if you can trust him just yet. But you can trust him in your home that you specifically built for you? It's weird. I just feel like she moves fast on some things, and then other things she's holding back. And I feel like Nate is just going with the flow because that's the kind of dude that he is. This couple is also giving me Steve, and what was Steve's name? What was Steve's wife's name? She was so miserable. What was her name? Steve and something. Y'all know who I'm talking about from last season. It's just I feel like these are the same characters. The wife is just fully in her head about how this marriage should play out, because she has an idea of marriage, and any man that came into her life would she would put into that role, right? She doesn't see this relationship as a relationship that you just have to build and cultivate. She sees it, oh, I'm in a marriage. This is what I want to do. This is when I want to have kids. This is when I want to, get the big house and a white picket fence. It's very cerebral for Tamera, also known as Stacia. It's very cerebral for her. But for her husband, Nate, he's pretty much just, I'm taking this one day at a time, and how it evolves, it evolves. which is what I think these couples, the mindset that they should take is that this is a new relationship. Yes, you are married, but you're just taking it day by day. But I think that Sasha is so in her head, she is not allowing herself to be present in this relationship or allowing things to happen organically in a relationship because she has an idea of how everything should go. And if it doesn't go that way, she gets stuck in her head and she starts to make issues where there really isn't. And I wish she would just get out of her head and enjoy this time because even if it doesn't work out with Nate, and girl, it probably won't. You're on a TV show, right? This is an experiment. This show is exploiting marriage. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil for ratings. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. We do have success stories. So you are taking a huge risk, but I think you also need to realize that this is not normal, right? It is a bastardized version of arranged marriage, so you really need to just take it for what it is. Have a good time. If you end up with a husband at the end of this, bonus. But at the end of the day, you're on a reality TV show. Get your check, have a good time, let whatever happen. Get out of your head and enjoy it, because I feel like at the end of this process, Sasha's going to be like, man, I should have let that go. Or I should have not focused on that and just should have had a good time here. You know what I mean? Like there's so much fun that she can have. And I think she's just not having it because she's so stuck in her head. Noy, thank you guys so much. Stephen Noy. That's who I was talking about. Noy could not get out of her head. Yes, I was absolutely on Noy's side with Steve with the job. Like, what you got going on? Like, what? I felt like he was being very vague. But later we found out that he did have discussions with her. They just weren't on camera. He didn't feel comfortable talking about those things on camera. And to that, I say, you were comfortable enough getting married on camera, but you can't discuss your finances. It's your life. Do whatever you want to do. So I absolutely understand that. But I think that because Noy had an idea, she said she wanted to be married at this time. She wanted to have this house and she wanted to have these kids. She was trying to fit Steve into that, even though he didn't make sense in that story. But she was trying to fit him into that because that's what she had in her mind. And I think for a lot of women, we have this idea of what our life should be like at a certain age and what motherhood is like and what marriage is like. And we stay on this path instead of letting life take us whichever way it wants to go. Because at the beginning and middle and end of the day, life is going to have its way. You're never going to beat life, right? So whatever is designed and destined for you, it's still going to happen. You might as well let go of your path and enjoy the ride. Speaking to myself. Let's talk about how Sasha absolutely projected onto Lindy. So Sasha and Lindy are getting really close. I think these two come from very religious backgrounds. Sasha hasn't mentioned that, but the way this conversation went, I think they both come from very religious backgrounds. So Lindy was talking about how she had sex with Miguel. First of all, can we just talk about, I don't know what Lindy did to Miguel, but she put it on him. Because Miguel could not get himself together in the confessional. He was like, it was holy. It was an experience. I felt God. It was wonderful. It was angelic. It was amazing. I was like, what did she do? I know that's right, Lindy. Anyway, she was talking about how, they both agreed that they were ready and they had sex and she really enjoyed it. It's her husband and she was ready to take that step with him. And Stassi had just started breaking down crying. And I'm like, I'm serious. I'm watching this and I'm just like, oh my God, did she have sex with Miguel too? Like, what happened? And then Stassi is just like, I want to make sure that was your decision and not Miguel's, because I've done that in relationships. Heart-to-heart moment, very sweet. She was absolutely projecting onto Lindy. And the reason why it bothered me was because Lindy grew up extremely religious, extremely sexually repressed. So her making that decision with Miguel was her taking her power back. over her body, over her wants and her needs and her desires. And she was just like, I hear you. I get where you're coming from, but I don't want you to take this away from me, because this is something that was really hard for me to do. And she was just like, I removed the shame from sex, and I actually enjoyed myself because I allowed myself to be real in that moment with what I wanted. And I removed all the shame and the judgment that was put on me. And for the first time, I really enjoyed myself sexually. So I was so happy for her. And here comes Stasia bringing back that shame. I'm like, girl, she finally got free and delivered from that. Why are you putting that back on her? And I think it's probably because they come from similar backgrounds, and she probably walks with that shame with the men that she slept with, that she felt like she slept with too soon, and she gave herself to them thinking that, to be honest with you, that would keep them or make them desire her in the way that she desired them. And it didn't work out that way. And that's no fault of hers, because a lot of women are raised like that. A lot of women believe that sex or a baby can keep a man, and that is just not true. And a lot of us find that out later in life, and we're just like, I kind of wasted my coochie, you know what I mean? But take all that away and just live your best life. But I feel like Stasia projected onto Lindy because she saw herself in a situation that wasn't what that situation was. That was a victorious situation. I was really happy for Lindy. And then Stasia started all that crying. Oh, girl, let her have a good time. I will say her tears cried up when Lindy was like, well, me and Miguel was talking, and we think that Nate is faking everything. I don't think Nate is faking. Let's talk about that. I don't think that Nate, also known as Tia, is faking. I think that he's just a chill guy. I think that he's a chill guy who's extremely attracted to his wife, who he knows is out of his league. So I don't think he's faking, but I think that he's letting her lead because he knows that she's a catch and he don't want to mess it up. So he's agreeing to stuff that he necessarily doesn't want to do, but he'd rather do stuff that he doesn't want to do than lose her. And Stasia can't see that. She's so caught up in her mind. You don't realize that this man adores you because he knows what he has. And you're crying saying, I don't think that Nate knows what he has. He absolutely knows what he has. That's why he's acting the way that he's acting. I'm telling you, I feel like on a lot of these shows, these women act like they have never met men before. Like, I'm like, do y'all not know them? Like, what is going on? Like, how have y'all been in relationships and y'all still don't know the makeup of men at this point? Girl, take the hint. Take the he is into you. Take the hint. Let's move on to Miguel and Lindy. I don't think they're going to work out. I don't think they're going to work out. The reason why I think this is Lindy is far too aggressive and invested in this relationship. Nothing wrong with that, but her husband isn't. And I just don't know if Miguel will get there in time. And I'm not saying that Stasia was right for feeling the way that she felt, but I do feel like I'm glad that Lindsay, took the shame out of sex and did what she wanted to do with Miguel. But I think, like a lot of the women on this show, I think she thinks that sleeping with him made the relationship stronger or his feelings for her stronger. And I think for somebody like Miguel, he was laying next to a beautiful woman and he wanted to have sex, right? He's still not looking at Lindy as his forever partner. He even says that every time they get to a point where the conversation is getting a little deep, he always says, well, I don't know what I'll do after 8 weeks. Like he always makes sure to remove himself from falling too deeply. However, Lindy has fallen in head first and she is just sinking and enjoying every moment. But Miguel is cutting himself off from that. I don't know why. We'll probably get into it more into the season, but there's something that stops him from going to where Lindy is going. And I think he's cheating himself out of the process, like a lot like Stasia. I think he's cheating himself out of the process by being so guarded, but I also think that Lindy could be a little bit more guarded too. So they both could learn from each other. He can open up a bit more. She could be a bit more guarded. just because yes, this is your husband, but this is such a new process, right? It's a new process for you. It's a new relationship. You got to learn the person. You don't put everything out on the table because some things might scare them, right? Let them fall in love with you first so they can deal with the highs and the lows, and how you're constantly stuck in your head about situations. I will say this, and I could be wrong. Miguel has a mother who deals with I think his mother was bipolar, had personality disorder, and so she struggled a lot of mental health issues, and she was very erratic. I think, not that he doesn't love Lindy, not that, or it could get there with Lindy. I think there are parts of him, parts of her that remind him of his mother. I think it's because he even mentioned that his mother was an emotional roller coaster. And I think Lindy has some mannerisms that trigger him. And I don't think he yet wants to say that, but I feel like he needs to, so they can just get that out there, you know what I mean, and just work on it. But I think that's what it is, because you can see that if Lindsay gets, if Lindsay is her emotional self, nothing wrong with that. If she starts to do that, he shrinks away. He shrinks away, he shuts down, he rolls his eyes, he leans back. He is just not here for the Lindy emotional roller coaster. And I think it's because of what he dealt with his mother. And I think he needs to get some help for that, right? I don't think that he is not deserving of love, but I think if you struggle, right, in relationships because of a relationship you had with your mother, I feel like this show is probably not the best place for you to find a wife. I feel like you need to find a therapist first before you find a wife. But this is what a lot of men do, right? Instead of going to therapy, they get a wife. Instead of going to therapy, they get a wife and make the wife's life a living hell. So I think the issues that he's having with Lindy have absolutely nothing to do with Lindy, and it's not fair because he's cheating her out of this process and probably out of a really good partner. So I think he needs to do some work on that. And Lindsay needs to do some work on not putting everything out there. Yes, this is your husband, but this is still a new relationship. You are cerebral, just like Stasia. You are in your head about everything. Every little move you make, you're trying to make sure that Miguel likes it, or, if he doesn't like it, so that you can change. That is not marriage. That is not how you stay in a happy relationship, right? You have to show you, all of you, but not put yourself out there in a place where you're trying to overly please this person, because then you cloud their judgment because they don't know who they're getting. So I think she's very cerebral as well. And her and Sasha, I feel like, they have bonded because their minds work kind of the same way. But I think they need to have somebody else in that mix of that relationship, like Alexis, who will give them the hard truth. Because I think those two advising each other will not be good for either of their marriages. Miguel, last thing about Miguel. Miguel also feels like, and I think it's because Lindy strokes his ego a lot. He acts like he's perfect and that he doesn't have anything to work on, and that bothers me. That's why I want Lindy to stop stroking his ego, because even at their wedding reception, she was all over this man and making him feel like he's the bee's knees. And I'm like, girl, let him return the favor. Let him return the favor, because he spends a lot of time, just like Justin and other people's relationship, advising everybody. And I'm just like, you are in no place to give advice or show judgment on anybody's relationships, because you have a wife that you barely cater to. That's where your focus needs to be. It seems like all of the men, and I'm shocked that it's not the women, but all of the husbands are in everybody's marriage. All the husbands are messy, pointing out flaws and everything, have no problem volunteering advice when, oh, it was outside. Oh my. It was a really big bug. It was a really big bug. I thought it was coming after me. Hi, I live in the forest. Anyway, what was I saying? The men are messy. The men on the show are messy, and they're in everybody's business, and they need to stay in their marriages, okay? Because none of their marriages are perfect. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to Kristen and Mitch. I don't like him. I'm not a fan of Mitch. I feel like he's leading her on, right? On camera, you know what this is giving me? I feel really bad. Mitch is giving me Chris from season 12 because on camera, you're saying that you're not attracted to this woman. But when the cameras leave, you're trying to have sex with her. And I love that Kristen is letting us know every step of the way. She's like, 1 minute he's saying he's not attracted to me, but then it's getting real hot and steamy. And he's all touchy and feely and trying to have sex with me. But then on camera, when you sit down with her, you say she's not your type, that you just don't have the spark that you need to have for your wife. But you got enough of a spark that you want to sleep with this woman. Kristen, I'm also glad that you're holding out as well. But I need you to realize that you're a prize. Any woman that's with a man is the prize. Let's just talk about it. Real talk. The woman is the prize. And you need to realize that about yourself. Well, she doesn't yet, right? She's sitting there taking a lot of his rejection on camera, right? Then taking a lot of his affection off camera. I feel like at some point, sis, you got to stand up. You got to stand up. And from the trailer, I think you will get to that point. But I just don't like how she continues to digest him saying that he's not interested in her, but then flipping the script as soon as they get in the hotel room. I feel like he's using her, physically, and I don't like it. Because that's the only thing about her that he mentioned that he was attracted to. He mentioned her boobs on their wedding day. But then he was saying that he wasn't attracted to anything else. And it's just like, he just seems very shallow to me. Very, very shallow. And from what I've seen of Kristen, I really like her. And I think she deserved better. At this point, I don't know why the experts put them together. I don't know what they saw in the other person to make them think that this would be a good match. If anything, they should have put Mitch with Kristen's mother. He was absolutely attracted to her. Anyway, let's end with Morgan and Ben. I was very conflicted with this couple. I was on one person's side at one point, and then I was on the other person's side at another point. So let's just get into the roller coaster of emotions that I went through with this couple. Ben, absolutely disrespectful to blame Morgan for having a bad relationship with her father. How the hell do you blame the child and not the deadbeat parent? Like, I couldn't believe that he sits down with her. He's just like, well, I come from a good family and me and my family are really close. And it does just give me pause or apprehension to be with somebody that doesn't have a good relationship with their parent. How do you think that up, sit with it, and then say it out loud, and then still think that that was a good thing to say? Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible of him to say that to her. I'm like, are you blaming her for having a bad relationship with her father? How do you blame the child? That's absolutely ridiculous to me. And I felt so bad for her because you could see, I'm telling you, watch their body language. You could see she was sitting up and you could just see her get smaller and smaller and smaller, because not only did her husband speak about something very personal, he used it as a dagger against her. Ugly. I did not like that. I did not like what he did to Morgan in that moment. That was not fair. He apologized about everything else. He should have apologized about that. That was wrong, and that was out of line. Then let's get into her school law, her student debt, and the fact that she has one more class to finish before I think she gets her PhD or something, whatever it is, before she gets this degree so that she can make more money. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how he wanted to use that against her. And he was just like, well, also you have a lot of student debt. You told me that you were finished your program, but you still have a class left that you're halfway through. And that's not truthful. And I told Justin, and I think he told Alexis, wrong. Because now what has happened is Justin and Alexis now have a negative idea of who Morgan actually is. And I don't like it. And the only reason why they think that about her is because of what you told them. So they're already meeting her or interacting with her with a sour idea of who she is. And that is because of her husband. You're not good at this, Ben. You are not good at being a husband. You are falling over your feet every step of the way. Maybe being a mama's boy isn't working out in your best interest. Anyway, so he says that he has an issue with that about her. You're a personal trainer. You're not trained to Beyonce. So you're not bringing in no money either. The nurse is probably bringing in more money than you. Like, how dare you? And she's going to school so that she can make more money. You're concerned about her student debt. She's a freaking nurse. If anything, she's in a better position to get her loans forgiven than anybody else. So what are you talking about? You were just looking at superficial things to try to make her seem like a bad person. And I don't like it. I don't know what that is. I can't yet put my finger on it because it's still early in the season, but I don't like that. Like, why are you tearing this woman down? Like, for what reason? What has she done to you to make you all of a sudden want to make her seem like this very bad person on camera and with the other couples? I don't like it. I don't like it. And he acts real innocent, but that was devious. That was devious. Like, and then after she explained everything to him, he was just like, "Oh, I absolutely misinterpreted that, and I'm wrong for that." Damn straight, damn straight. And it's just like all you had to do was ask for clarity, or really, with the human mind, assess the situation for what it is. How in the hell is it her fault that her father is terrible? How in the hell is she lying to you when she's almost finished the class? Like, nobody, like, I don't feel like you're lying if you're saying that you're a graduate of a program, if you're like 2 weeks from getting your freaking cap and gown. Like, you've done all of the classes, you got your grades, you know that this is about to happen. Like, everybody talks like that. So it's just normal. So I don't understand how she's this big liar. And then you dragging her to Justin and Alexis. Now Justin is all emotional, crying, over your marriage. And now Alexis got a negative idea of Morgan. So whenever she meets and talks to her, she got a little bit of vibrato because she got a problem with this woman that's taking advantage of her husband's friend. Messy, Ben. Messy. The men are so messy on this show. Just absolutely messy. Anyway, Morgan. This is when I flipped the switch with Morgan. So when they're all having dinner, Morgan says that she told the experts that she needed an independent husband because she can't, take care of him when she gets off of work, because her job is taking care of people. And when she gets home, she doesn't want to take care of anyone and she doesn't want to be bothered. Why in the hell are you married? Why did you sign up for this show? I'm not saying that you have to take care of your husband, but you got to take care of your husband. There's just some things that he's going to require from you, just like there's some things that you're going to require from him. Like, how the hell do you say, "Oh, I've been working hard all day. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want you to talk to me for a minute. Let me just rest, get my mind together. And then when I'm ready, I'll come talk to you." How is that going to work every day? How is that going to work with kids? Like, that's unfair. It's unfair to make your husband the issue when you chose this line of work. I remember not too long ago on TikTok, there was a divorce lawyer, and she was telling women these, like, the professions that you should stay away from concerning men. That if the men that you're dating are in these professions, you need to stay away from them. And one was a surgeon, and she said, this is why. A surgeon is he is held up with high esteem, right? So he has a bit of a God complex, and you can't really be a partner to somebody who feels and is treated as if he is a god. She said that about surgeons, pilots, and police officers and firefighters. She was just like, those are the professions that you need to stay away from with these men, because they have this higher sense of self, and you can't be in a relationship with somebody like that, because there will never be any kind of equality. You will always be seen as lesser than, because how this man is treated in society. And I just thought of that because this is how Morgan is acting. Like, I'm a nurse, I'm working in COVID units and I take care of all of these people. That's your job. You're not better than anybody else because that's what you signed up to do. That's your job. I'm sorry. With people who sign up for these kind of jobs and study and do all of this stuff, and y'all go to war and all this stuff, and it's like, we have to treat you a certain kind of way. Baby, that's what you signed up to do. Thank you for your service. Now get up and make this family something to eat. Like, I'm not saying that she has to come home from working real hard at her job and she has to do everything. It's a partnership, right? You cook the dinner while he washes the sheets, or he cooks while you do the laundry. Y'all have to work this out. It's a 2-person household at this point. So somebody got to do something. You wash the dishes, he vacuums. He takes out the trash. You put up the linens. Like, you just can't expect for him to do everything after he also has went to work for the day. Ridiculous. And on the flip side of that, the divorce lawyer said that the worst women the worst women to be with who are in these professions are nurses and stay-at-home moms. And that's because, again, the God complex idea that they take care of everything. So they're expecting you to treat them as if they're this kind of God that walks amongst us. Child, that's what I was getting from Morgan. That's what I was getting from Morgan. Still think that Ben was absolutely wrong for what he did to her, but girl, then you want to be, the way you described your life, you want to be single with no kids, because there's no way that you can live this life that you want to live with a husband and children. Think about this process again. Anyway, I talked long enough. What do you guys have to say? Let me acknowledge this super chat that I got from Holly. Hey, Holly. Thank you so much for the super chat. Holly said, I'm so glad you're reviewing Married at First Sight. I'm on my way to buy a lottery ticket. I know that's right. I caught you live last night and today. Sis, I'm feeling lucky. Love you, Nikki. Love you too. Love you too. Congrats on your win. I know you're going to get something. If you happen to be one of those people who scratch it, a billion, I would love at least 1 million super chats. 1 million in super chats. Thank you so much again, Holly. Let me bring down this couple. What do you have to say about the other couples? I'm just going to get some older comments. Josie said, Lindy and Miguel's relationship seems one-sided, and I think she'll get hurt in the end. Not even in the end, in the middle. Have you seen that trailer? Lindy is already starting. She's already starting, which is why I'm glad that she took her power back concerning her body and concerning sex, right? I still think that she probably went a little too soon just because Miguel isn't where she is. And I think for her, having sex meant, the culmination of the consummation of this marriage, which it does, but you have to understand your partner. Miguel is not where you are. IA said, I think Nate hooked up with his friend, and that, you think so? Oh, Nate, you are going to lose your great wife if that is the truth. Don't mess this up, boy. Midwife Crystal said, Nate Dogg is giving scammer. Steve was just a wanderlust guy. You feel like that? I think he's just not being honest with her, like with the whole therapy thing. Like, he doesn't want to go to therapy, but he knows that she's a catch and he doesn't want to lose her. So I just think he's being dishonest because he doesn't want to lose. Oh, my tree is getting healthy again. Thank you, Jesus. It was dying, but now it's starting to grow back in. Thank you, Lord, because I prayed over that tree. God is good. But I think that he's just, not being truthful about what he really wants because he knows that Stassi is a catch. He knows that. He absolutely knows that. Oh, schizophrenia. Thank you so much, Ajuvi. That's what Miguel's mother was struggling with. Thank you so much for the clarification. Kamisha said, yes, Lindsay's anxiety is too much for him and me. I will say, I'll be watching the episode and you can see when she's about to start. And I'm like, Lindy, just chill. Just chill. Her and Stassi, they are not a good combination concerning friendships because they're just, it's the blind leading the blind. They are not going to advise each other correctly. They are not. They are not. The way it flew into my window, it was just too scary for me. Too scary. You think so, Ajubi? Ajubi said Lindy seemed like she wanted to wait longer than she did. Oh Lord, I hope that doesn't come out later in the season, because she does give that she wants to over please Miguel, and that just is a turn off for him. I don't like him so far. Like, I don't know who he is as a person. I'm just saying, but I've seen of him on this show. I don't like it. Oh, they let me know I'm on their land. They let me know that they was here before me and they'll be here after me. They let me know. Yeah, Donna D said Mitch has to get drunk to sleep with Kristen. What is that all about? Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable to hear her say it, knowing that it's not a compliment. Some stuff I'm like, girl, you can hold that. You don't have to tell the ladies everything about this process. Stand up. And I don't know why. I don't know who was lying to him in his neighborhood, but I'm just like, your wife is the catch, bro. Please believe it. Please believe it. And his friends acting like his wife will get hotter because her mom is hot. They're just like, oh, that's what she's going to look like when she's that age. Sick. Just trash. Absolutely. Midwife Crystal said, I have a lot of respect for Kristen and how she handles things sometimes. She's who Lindy from last season was trying to be. Lindsay, yes, was trying to be, but failed. Absolutely. Here is why Lindsay did not succeed, because she would say these things that would make sense. Then she would end it with an insult. So everything that she said prior was erased because she cheapened it with the insults. Kristen gets it. I like her. I really, really do. I like her. And I wish she would have got a better match because I think she deserves better. Donna D said, I think Mitch is insecure and wants to make Kristen feel like that he is not that attracted to her before she says she is not attracted to him. You know what, Donna D? I agree. I also think that he's that kind of guy that needs to make a woman feel small so that he can feel tall. That's what I'm getting as well. So messy. And I loved him in the beginning. He was so cute and adorable. But now I'm not liking how he's treating Morgan. I don't like that. He absolutely did a Juby. And it was so horrible. I'm telling you guys, I felt so bad when he was talking to her about her relationship with her father and making it seem like it was a strike against her. The way her body just got so small. And I'm like, you can't see what you're doing to her? Ugh, I didn't like that, Ben. Yes, it's ugly. It's ugly. I don't like it. Nikki said Ben is immature emotionally. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Some people said, I think that Ben is negging her because he thinks that she's better than him. Probably. That's what he should do and leave Morgan alone. Like Kamisha, she's going to get that forgiven in 2 seconds. What are you talking about, personal trainer? Whatever student loan debt you got for your engineering degree, that's not going away no time soon. But that nursing student loan debt, especially if she worked in a COVID unit, baby, that's evaporated. That's absolutely, especially emotionally abusive Asian men. I'm like, here we go. Another Asian man treating his Asian wife like crap on national TV. What is going on? What is going on? Why are y'all picking these men like this? Oh, that's true, Josie. I can see that. Josie said, I don't think that Ben likes Morgan, so everything else just makes her seem worse in his mind. But here is the thing. This is what I hate about these guys. Y'all say you're not attracted to these women. Y'all say you're not into them, but y'all doing stuff with them sexually, right? Because Morgan herself was like, we had to stop each other. So wait a minute. If you're not feeling her, why she gotta push you from on top of her because things was getting a little too hot? I hate that. I hate that because you know what that means. I can't stand when men do that. And all the men on the show do that. Justin, the only one holding out. No matter how much Alexis put that juicy booty on him, her words, not mine. No matter how many times she put that behind on him, he's just like, nope, I'm holding out. I'm holding out. But he does like to tell us that he's rock hard. Excuse me, sir. Midwife Crystal said, Ben misunderstood her. Morgan is still in RN. She's advancing her career for more money and future opportunities and probably will make more money than him. Then what? Then you gonna have a problem with her doing that? Now she thinks she's better than you because she makes more money? Bro. Kamisha said, Mama's boy is picking her apart. She's an RN in a bridge to a BSM program. She is a nurse. Yeah, she said, I've been working as a nurse. He's just being messy. She could have judged you for being a personal trainer after working at, as a very successful engineer and then dropping that and, going to work as a personal trainer. She could have judged you about that. She didn't. She actually loved that about you. She loved the fact that you chose your mental health over a job. But he just loves to tear this woman down, and I don't like it. Like, they gave us another Johnny. Another Johnny. Yep. Yes. I'm sorry. I don't like this. It's another Asian husband that gossips about his wife to everybody else and throws her under the bus, trying to make everybody think that she is the bad guy. What is this? What is this? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Kamisha said Justin needs to mind his crybaby business. Like, why was he crying like that? I was like, oh no. Justin, you gonna lose her. What's up, Imitation of Style? Imitation of Style said, I'm not mad at that though. Sometimes you need to just decompress when you get off of work. I get that. I absolutely get that. But every day, what? I need to have an independent husband. I need to have somebody that don't need me to do nothing. That's impossible. You're not going to find any partner like that. A partner that just leaves you alone for hours every day. Why are they in a relationship with you? And then he wants to have kids, and you said that you'll be up for it. You can't have a bad day with kids. I'm sorry. You can't tell your newborn, wait, I know you're hungry. Hold on. My breasts are mine. I need to hold them for myself for a few hours. Let me decompress, okay? Stop crying. You will get fed when I feel better. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I understand a day or two of that, but every day, there's no compromising. Why are you in a relationship? If you want to live your life like that, then you have to live your life single, because that's just not possible, and it's not fair to the other people who are in your life that you need that kind of space. Change the damn job. I'm sorry. If your job is doing that to you, where you cannot communicate with people after you get off of work, that's not where you should be. That's not a healthy environment. That's not, because what you're doing is working at that unhealthy environment and then bringing that way of living unhealthy into your home, that way of being into your home. That's not fair. She absolutely has to grow up. That doesn't make any sense. Shonda said, I have great respect for public service oriented jobs, but that doesn't give you a free pay. Come on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, thank you for your service. Let him get a free meal at IHOP. That's it. That's it. Now, you're not going to take every damn parking space in the front of Macy's because you serve this nation. Absolutely not. Now, at some point, I'll let you get on in front of me on the airplane. I don't say nothing about that. But now this is holiday shopping. We are at Macy's. I'm sorry, sir. Thank you for your service. Find a parking space somewhere else. This is my war ground right here. Okay? Like, I understand it and I absolutely get it. But at some point, you gotta come back to civilian life. Teamwork. Absolutely. There should be teamwork. Kamisha said, Nikki, a lot of my nurse friends are like Morgan. Listen. Child, that's another chat, because I got a couple of nurse friends and I'm like, girl, you got one more time. One more time. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy said, Star family, please subscribe to Nikki's second channel, NikkiStar at home. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you. Midwife Crystal said, Morgan was laying it on kind of thick. However, as a nurse for many years, COVID has affected healthcare providers in a way that other folks will never understand. So So don't get in her way. Absolutely understand that. Like I told you, my best friend works in the COVID unit oh, I'm not gonna get the hospital, but at a hospital in Philadelphia. So absolutely, we're very sensitive to that. I just felt like Morgan was being ridiculous. Ridiculous. You don't need to be in a relationship then. At least not now. At least not now. Sasha said, I understand what Morgan was saying. My friend's mom was a nurse, and they have to do all the doctor's dirty work, long hours, is draining. Most of them go to depression and have mental breakdowns. Do you think that she was being unrealistic, or you think that her expectations was realistic? Let me know. I'm absolutely just honestly asking. Absolutely. Absolutely, Bree. She needs to walk away. She needs to walk away. This line right here, men don't, if not ever, build attraction. That's us, women. That is us. Men don't build attraction. They either want you or they don't. They are very, white and black. With us, it's like, ew, I ain't attracted to him. Then, he starts making jokes. So you laugh. And you're like, oh, I can see myself with him. No, ill, gross, absolutely not. Then he gives you a ride home from work, and you find out that y'all listen to the same music. Next thing you know, whenever that song comes on, you and him are like, oh, our song. And then you start seeing yourself in your living room wrapping Christmas gifts while your kids are upstairs sleeping. Now, all of a sudden, you're imagining a life with him, and then comes the attraction. It is an up and down roller coaster with us before we get to that part of attraction. With men, it's right there in your face. And you'll be looking like, how in the hell were you attracted to me? You didn't even see my face. It's real white and black with them, not with us. I love that tree. It's so beautiful. It was one of the things that made me want to live here. My living room window and this tree. And it got infected, and my landscaper was trying to fix it, but it was too far gone. But he's starting to heal himself, and I thank God. I'm so happy. What is it? Sasha, not Stasia. I'm sorry. You know why I call her that? Vanderpump Rules. Sasha, Tamira. Some people said bugs in the South are so big, they'll break the window. Yeah, y'all didn't hear that bug hit the window? That's why I jumped up. Forever Blonde said, I'm a nurse and I don't act like that. I've been at work for 14 hours on my feet and came home and took care of a sick kid. It's her. Okay, because I was just like, I get it. I absolutely get it. I just think that she was being ridiculous. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And Ben is just sitting there like, well, what does he say? What does he say? Even Alexis was just like, well, so how does Ben fit in to your life? And she's just, and Morgan, I don't know, man. That's something to think about. Girl, what? Why did you sign up for this show? Why did you sign up for this show? I get it. Even if her job is very stressful and she loves it, right? Listen, I'm an actor. The entertainment industry is not for the weak. You got to love this to be in this. My family members who are not entertainment savvy and they don't want nothing to do with it, they're always like, how are you in this? This just seems so awful. Why would you go through this? But it's it's what I love to do, right? So even after, working long hours on set, it may seem ridiculous to somebody else, but for me, I feel like I had a really good day. So I absolutely understand putting a lot into a job that requires a lot, and sometimes the environment can be toxic. That is not my family's fault. And they don't need to get the brunt of what I endured at work. It's not their fault. That's the profession that I chose, that I absolutely love. They don't need to get the parts of me, the bad parts of me, while everybody else gets the best of me. I should have some goodness of me left over to give to them, especially people that love and support me. They should get the best of me, not the worst of me. That's all I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense. Shout out to the nurses in the chat. I'm not coming at you guys. I was just coming at Morgan. He does, Midwife Crystal. Midwife Crystal said Nate glosses over his financial situation too much. He's not being truthful about the bankruptcy thing. Yeah, I think he does. He does make it seem like it's far too easy to get back on your feet. And I'm like, absolutely not. That's why you really don't do a bankruptcy. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be at the end. At the end, no way out. You know, debtors are taking everything for you to get to that point. They make it very the penalty is huge because they want to deter people from doing that. Oh, Deborah I said, I really don't think that Morgan truly wants the marriage, just the title. I just don't understand what she signed up for this show. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Sasha said, I think that Morgan saw the mama boy complex of her husband and was being passive aggressive since he exposed her for her degree. I can see that. Oh my God, IA. Mitch replaced the N with the B. To call him his correct name is awful. And I hate the way his wife thanks him. Let's talk about it. Thanks him for telling her that he isn't attracted to her. She needs to get it together. Yes. Thank you for being honest. I really appreciate that because, you know, we don't really know each other. This is a new marriage, and I'm so happy that you are telling me that you're not attracted to me. So that lets me know that eventually when you get there that we can move forward in this marriage as husband and wife. How the hell can you move forward with a man that keeps on telling you every time he gets the chance, every time there's a camera on the both of you, that he's not attracted to you? Absolutely not. That's not the man for you. That's not the man for you. Deborah I said Mitch made it abundantly clear on the after party that he didn't pounce on Kristen. Even while drunk, his advances were minimal. Ugh. Ugh. Sasha said, I think you are too nice on Nate. Something is shaky with him. We'll find out. I feel like the show is foreshadowing that something is up with him anyway, because they keep on highlighting him making that stripper get on her knees and drink from his Heineken bottle. So maybe something is happening. We'll see. JL said experiments should always come with a conclusion or at least an observation. Married at first sight being a social experiment, I think we should conclude that most marriages at first sight does not go well. Yeah, it's work. It's work. Kimberly Rivers said, I think that Mitch is in his head too much and always says what he is thinking. That's, probably. Probably. Some people said a PhD in nursing is huge money, unstable money. Yeah, I told you, my friend. Listen, he probably watching. What's up? So he started out like when he started out nursing, he started out in the COVID unit. That was like his first year actually working was in a COVID unit. He was like, oh my God, I cannot do this. But when them checks cleared, he was like, I think I could do it one more year. When them checks cleared. Oh my goodness. You know what, Lucy? I didn't want to say it. I felt like that. I felt like her being a bit more masculine than he desires challenges him. And that's where I think he tries to do these little things to make her feel small as a woman, because that is how certain men perceive women, that women should be small and dainty and frail and all of those things. And because Morgan is none of that, I feel like he does those things to fit her into that box so that he can be comfortable with her as a wife. Ugh. And get their worst enemy pregnant. You know how many men hate their baby mamas? Hated them before the kid was born or conceived? Ciao. Thank you, Drewski. Drewski said, yeah, if you don't feel her, then don't feel up on her either. Absolutely. Absolutely. He did. When did he say that? What? Oh my gosh. IA says some of these men will sleep with a paper bag if it's attractive enough. I suggest the wives hold out for as long as they can. Absolutely. I really want the women to not think that sex with these men means that they want to be your husband forever. I hope they don't go into this thinking that, but it happens with a lot of women. This is the thing, right? Have you ever heard of a fleshlight? You know what I mean? Like, that's men. You know what I mean? That's men in a nutshell. That's men in a nutshell. Like, girl, don't think your coochie is that great. He will roll over and get a fleshlight. American Pie. He will bang a dessert. Like, girl, don't ever think that the coochie is so powerful to keep him. He'll roll over and get a fleshlight or walk into the kitchen and get a pie. Midwife Crystal said, don't let Morgan become a travel nurse. I was getting nonstop calls from recruiters at the highest rates I've ever seen. 10K take home per week. My other friend is a travel nurse. Baby, she loves it. She be posting up in Miami for the week. Like, she has an amazing time. And she doesn't do it often. She just does it, a few times, and she makes bank and travels. Like, I could never be a nurse. It's just not for me. Like, some of the stuff that y'all have to deal with, the way I would have been for my patients, I know my limits. But if I were to become a nurse, I would absolutely be a travel nurse. I would absolutely be a travel nurse. So Steph said, Nikki, good morning. Just got here. Wait, did you just get in from the date? I know that's right. Hey, good morning. Yes. Kayla said, the way these nurses be TikToking and carrying on these days, she can carve out some time for her family at home. Listen, I don't know if she was laying it on thick to take a jab at him or what, but Morgan, it wasn't a good look. Sasha said, nurses love to throw they are nurses at any chance, even when it has nothing to do with anything. Listen, I love my friend, but it has become a part of her identity. It's like, I'm a nurse. I know how to make spaghetti. And you'd be like, what the hell does that have to? You know what? Live your best life. Live your best life. Sasha said she was being realistic for her job, but it doesn't conduct a healthy family life. Her kids were always at our house, LOL. I think because my mom was a teacher, so she was always home and they needed one. Oh, okay. You were updating us. So Steph said, I love my mom dearly, but growing up, I felt like she didn't have much time to give when she got home from work. She was a school teacher for 30 years. After dealing with children, she was drained. Yep. Very, very true. Very, very true. IA said, you have one time to tell me you aren't attracted to me. It's all good. You may not be, but other men are. So goodbye, my friend. And to be honest with you, before men even voice it, they show you that they're not attracted. You guys, you say, hey, boo, how you doing? He say, what's up, sis? There it is. There it is. That's all you need. That's all you need. Hey, buddy. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. There is nothing wrong with a Blasian woman, but what? Is there anything else? She just has to be Blasian? Like, does she have to be kind? She can't, can the Blasian wife have a student loan debt? Let me get a couple more, and then let me get out of here and let y'all have your Saturday back. Midwife Crystal said, I wish they switch it up and do all things like Married at First Sight Australia. They meet the experts every week and decide either to stay or go. They give them advice for the following week. I actually heard a lot from you guys that Married at First Sight Australia is a lot better than the American one. I gotta start watching the after party. This is the thing. This show is so long. And I am not able to watch it outside of commercials because I have to watch it online because none of my streaming services have Lifetime. I just be so exhausted after watching this show. I'm like, I can't get into the after party. I think Tia and Tamara are both Blasian. I think so. That's one thing about a Blasian person. Can we just detour for a second? You can always tell. You can always tell. It's just like, yep, Blasian. You just know, because I think it's because Black and Asians have dominated. Like, you just know. There's never going to be a mixture with black or Asian and you don't see the black and Asian. Like you will see it. You will see it. But like with the Blasian person, it's just like everything is so dominant. You just know. You just know they're mixed. You're like, yep, I know exactly what your parents look like. Like, I get it. I get it. Those dominant genes are like, I'm here. I'm here. I love it. I went to high school with a girl, a Blasian queen, and she will always lead with that, and we would be like, you don't have to tell us. We knew. We knew. Like, we knew. Oh my goodness. Bree53 said that makes sense. He has a ton of black friends. He's looking for a Blasian queen. And he done got this tough as nails Asian woman. And he's like, absolutely not. I said Blasian. Oh my goodness. A pie. A pie. Ciao. Listen, I watched her life like I went into the wrong profession. The wrong profession. And then sometimes she's like a nurse to like just billionaires who just, need somebody. They had a rough weekend or something and they need somebody to make sure their vital signs are. What a life. I should write a script about that. That would be a great show, like a travel nurse to like billionaires. Let me get on that. Wendy said, no matter what job, I always needed to shake off the energy from my work days. I remember having work from home call center job during a panorama and quit because the energy was coming in my house. Smart. Very, very, very smart. Very, very smart. Very, very smart. Courtney. So life update, guys. Me and my boyfriend just got a dog. The old job didn't work out, but I quickly found a new job. Amen. With still a perfect schedule, better benefits, and higher pay. Come through, and I plan to work out. Yes, this week for the Love After Lockup Challenge. Okay, Courtney, let's do it. Let's do it. So happy for you. Congrats. Oh, you saw the feet? You saw the feet? I didn't want to jump on it because, cultures are different, but I was like, yikes. All them crumbs is in that bed. So said, one of my closest friends is the director of nursing for the ICU at a major hospital, and Miss Mama be stressed out. Yeah, it is not an easy job. It is not an easy job. That I know. The horror stories, that I know. But when the check clears, as they should make a lot. I mean, you just should. You just should for a job like that. Indy said, my friend is a private nurse for a very wealthy family. She is paid a ridiculous amount of money and travels the world with them. She lives well, and she has no going out, no outgoings, and is able to save. Smart. I thought she was Blasian. Because weren't they talking about that at some point? That weren't they talking about their mix? I think they were. I thought that she was, he's probably a white Latino. I thought her dad was Latino. But he could be white Latino. But them Latinos, it'd be a lot going on. It don't just be one thing. Some of them are conquistadors, but they're not, so you never really know. I feel like I think it's ethnic on both sides, but I could be wrong. Sasha said, I feel like the Asian part is just so his mom don't get too upset, but he wants a black woman low key. Who doesn't? Gas me up. Gas me up. Dr. M said, on Married at First Sight Australia, one lady said she was going back to look after her mom and something for a couple of days and slept with her ex. I think she sent the video she made to her husband accidentally. Oh, we need that show. We need that show. Yeah, he is. Because I do remember him talking about his mom not wanting anything to do with him, which is why he identifies mostly, as being black, because he just was rejected by that side of his family. That's so sad as a child. We getting into something else. Something else. I just learned in the chat, Wasian. Y'all better not be teaching us slurs. Dear God, please, I pray this is not a slur. Where are the Asians in the chat? Is this a slur? Because we got to get the correct terminology. JL, where are you? Let us know. Let us know, because child, we can't be out here. The Star family saying slurs. Child. Oh, really? Listen, you know, that couple is just a mixture of love across borders. Makeup Addict said, yes, I saw that Married at First Sight Australia clip. The girl said it was her brother, LOL, when they played the video of her ex. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Anyway, family, let me get out of here. I had a great time with you guys. I'm actually going to do another live tonight, but it'll be with Mama Star. We are going to review together today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love, I forgot the name of it. Ready for Love. I was going to say Love Like You Are. We're going to be reviewing together Ready to Love because we really enjoyed that show. She has some thoughts. So I'm going to put up that reminder right after I get out of here and do the timestamps for this video. But I'll see you later tonight for that. And then I may or may not see you on Sunday. I'll definitely see you on Sunday on my other channel. But I'm traveling next week. So I have some videos some of the stuff I do here will be alive, and then the rest will be recorded at least for the weekend because I'll be traveling for a few days. But that's pretty much our week. I'll see you later tonight if you watch Ready to Love. If not, I'll see you sometime soon next week. Thank you all so much for joining me. I just saw a comment that I could not highlight, but Wendy, you are a mess. You are a mess. Yes, she loves the show. We watch it together and we have a good little kiki. So we're going to review it tonight. So hope to see you there. Thank you all for joining me. I know this is our errands day, but I wanted to just briefly talk about the show before we get into the next phase of these marriages next week. Please make sure you like the video. Love you so much, Star family. Thank you for stopping by. See you soon. Bye. I am ready.